Now let us look at the volume and area of a pyramid. Volume and area of a pyramid. Number 1. A square-based pyramid of size 6 cm and has a vertical height of 10 cm. Calculate the volume and total surface area of the pyramid. Now, if you are having a square-based pyramid, it means the base is like a square, so the length of the side is what 6 cm by 6 cm. And you are told to what? And you are told that the vertical height, the vertical height of the pyramid is what 10 cm. So we have to calculate the volume and the total surface area of the pyramid. First of all, let's look at the volume. So the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 base area times height. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 base area times height. So now if we look at the base, so that means we need to get the area of the base. The base happens to be a square. So since the base is a square, so that means what? The area of the base is what? Length square, which is 6 square. 6 times give us 36 square. And the volume of the pyramid is for 1/3 times the base area times the height. So we have 1/3 times the base area is what? 36 times the height. We are talking of the vertical height. The height that makes a right angle with the base, so which is what? 10. So 3 and 1, 3 and 12. 12 times 10 will give us 120 centimeter cube. So that's the volume of the pyramid. Now to calculate the total surface area, of the pyramid, you will need to dismantle this pyramid. You are going to dismantle the pyramid. When you dismantle it, you are going to have a shape like this. So you realize the base, which is a square, is this. Then you are having what? The other side, which forms a triangle, are the one that is brought out here. And you are told, if you look at it, you are told that what the vertical height is 10. For you to look for for this square, this triangle, the height of this vertical height of this triangle will be different from the vertical height of the whole of this pyramid. So the height that will make a right angle with this base. So that means you are going to use the vertical height of this pyramid is 10. Then if you look at it, since this side is 6 centimeter, so which is because we got to if this is 6 centimeter, the vertical height of this pyramid is going to will form at the center, which should go 3 centimeter. So from here to from the middle to this place will give us 3 centimeter. So that means we are going to have a right angle triangle here to be able to get this particular height, which will form this one here. So for us to be, so that means to be able to get this height, we are going to use Pythagoras rule. So now have something like a right angle triangle here. So this is 10, this is 3. So you now look for the value of this height here. So this place, if you take this to be what? X. So x squared should be equal to, this is what? 10 squared plus 3 squared. So x squared is equal to 10 squared is what? 100 plus 3 squared is 9. So x squared should become 100 plus 9 give us 109. So to get x, now find the square root of 109. So when you find the square root of 109, that will give us 10.44030651 centimeter, which is approximately 10.4 centimeter. So it is this height that you can use for this particular triangle. So when you use it, so this one will now form the vertical height of this particular triangle that will give us, make a right angle to this. So to look for total surface area, we look for the area of this square, then areas of each of this triangle. They are going to have the same area. So that means the area of the square is what? Length square, which is what? 6 times 6 square, which is 36. Then the triangle, you realize that this triangle The base is now 6. The height is now taken to be 10.4. The value we got. So that means that will now be what? The value for the triangle. That means your area of B will now be half base times height, which is a triangle. So 1/2 times the base is what? 6 centimeter times the height, which is what? 10.4, which will give us 31.2 centimeter square. So you realize that the value for other triangles here also will give us the same thing because they will be having the same measurement. So value of other triangles, so that is area of C is also 31.2 centimeter square. That of D will give us the same 31.2 centimeter square. Then that of E will give us the same 31.2 centimeter square. So the total surface area of this pyramid will now add the areas of everything together. So that means the total surface area will now be the area of each face of the pyramid. So when you add it together, you are going to get what? 160.8 centimeter square. Now let's do another example. So number 2, a rectangular pyramid of base dimensions of 10 centimeter by 8 centimeter has the length of the edge that runs from the corner of the base to the apex to be 15 centimeter. So that means it's talking about the length of the edge that runs from the corner of the base to the apex is for 15 centimeter. So the edge of the rectangle is for 10 centimeter by 8 centimeter. Calculate the volume of the pyramid. So to calculate the volume of the pyramid says that what? That is what? 1/3 base area times height. So the base is happens to be rectangle, then you look for the height. Now when you are looking for the height, you know that what? You are going to use for the vertical height. The height that makes that you find at the center of this base and makes which is be at right angle with the base. So for us to be able to get that, here you are given a slant height here. This is 15 centimeter and this is what? 8 centimeter. You need to know the value of this vertical height. For us to know it, you realize that this height, slant height, and this one, so they are going to form at the diagonal of this circle, of this rectangle. So first of all, let's get the diagonal of this rectangle. So this is 8 centimeter by 10 centimeter. So I'm talking of the base now. The diagonal here, which is I'm representing to be what? A. So the line facing this A is the hypotenuse square, should be equal to A square plus 10 square. So if you now substitute, what we are looking for is our A, which is what? Which is A square is equal to this 8 is what? 64, 8 square plus 10 square. A square is equal to 8 square is what? 64 plus 10 square, which is 100. 64 plus 100 will give us 164. To get A, you now find the square root of 164, which gives us 12.80624847 centimeter, which is approximately 12.8 centimeter. Now, you realize that the diagonal here is 12.8 centimeter, but this particular height will form at the center of this diagonal. So if it will form at the center of the diagonal, so that means to be able to get, if I'm trying to draw this triangle again, so this is my now the diagonal, this is 15 centimeter, which is the edge. So to now look for the vertical height here, so which will make a right angle. So that means for us to do this base, we've got that. We can easily say what to get from here to this, the middle of this pyramid to the edge here will what? 12.8, everything is 12.8, then divided by 2. So which will give us 6.4 centimeter. So that means from here to this place is 6.4, and this side is for 15 centimeter. It will be easier for us to now get the height here. So to now get that, so that means we have the hypotenuse is now 15. 15 square should be equal to So this side, which is what, b square plus h square. So 15 square is 225 is equal to, this place is for 6.4 square plus h is what we are looking for, a square. So that means 225 should be equal to 6.4 square is for 40.96 plus h square. So 225 minus 40.96 is equal to a square. 225 minus 40.96 will give us 184.04. So to now get h, you now find the square root of 184. So which should give us 13.56613.431 centimeter. So the height is now taken to be 13.6 centimeter. So to now look for the volume, of the pyramid, so we are saying 1/3 times the base area times height. So the base is the rectangle, which is what, 8 times 10, then times the height. We have been able to look for the vertical height of the pyramid, which should give us what, 13.56613.431. So when you multiply this, you get 1085.2907444/3. So which should give us 361.7635815 centimeter square, which is approximately 362 centimeters square. Now, to look for the total surface area of the pyramid, realize you need to dismantle the pyramid. So we have the base to be 10 centimeter by 8 centimeter. Then already in the question, you realize that what we are given is this particular side of the pyramid. So this side that forms the triangle is of 15 centimeter. If this place is 10 centimeter, so half of this will give us what? 5 centimeter. We need to get height, because realize this one give us what? A triangle. We need to get the height to be able to do this one, half base times the height here. So get the vertical height, the height that makes an angle of 90 degrees with the base. So that means you now have what? You are going to use Pythagoras rule. So if this side is 15 centimeter, then this one is for half of this 10, which is for 5. So it will be easier for us to get this. So the hypotenuse is 15 square is equal to this 8 square plus 5 square. So 15 square is 225 is equal to 8 square plus 5 times 5 is what? 25. If I bring this 25 to this side, I have 225 minus 25 equals 200. So to get h, you now find the square root of 200, which will give us 14.14213562 centimeter. So h will now be what? 14.1 centimeter. Now you realize that what we need to, so that's height from this side. So let's look for the height of this other side also, so that now it's in this side is what? 8 centimeter, and this is still 15 centimeter. So I want to look for the vertical height here. So this side will still be what? The hypotenuse. 15 square is equal to this small h, 8 square plus, half of this 8 will give us 4 square. So 225 is equal to 8 square plus 4 square is 16. If I bring this 16 to this side, you now have minus, it will give me what? 209 is equal to 8 square. To get 8, find the square root of 209, which will give me 14.45683229 centimeter. So which is approximately 14.5 centimeter. Now I'm having 14.5 centimeter then. So we said in this situation, for us to look for total surface area, we are going to be looking for the areas of each of the faces. So the base is what? Area of the base, which is what? Area of A, 10 centimeter by 8 centimeter. So that's a rectangle, 10 times 8, which give us 80 centimeter square. Then you do the area of B. For your B, this our B, the base here is what? 10, and we've calculated the vertical height here to be 14.1 centimeter. So we now look for area of B, will now be half base times height. This 1/, times base is 10 times height is 14.1, which should give me 70.5 centimeter square. Then C, our serialized C and B, they are going to have the same dimension. So the area you get for B is the same thing you get for C. It's also a triangle. of the same dimension with B. Then let's come to D. Look for the area of D. So the base of D is 8 centimeter and the vertical height we've calculated that to be 14.5. So that means you have half base times side, half times 8 times 14.5, which is 58 centimeters square. So you realize that E also will have the same dimension with D. So since it will have the same dimension, so that means you are going to have 58 centimeters square also for that. So the total area will now add this 80 centimeters square plus 70.5 centimeters square plus 70.5 centimeters square, 58 centimeters square plus 58 centimeters square. So the total area of the pyramid will now be what? 337 centimeters square. So for the work practice, number 1, a square base pyramid of side 10 cm has a vertical height of 15 cm. Calculate the volume and total surface area of the pyramid. Number 2, a rectangular pyramid of base dimension of 15 cm and 12 cm has the length of the edge that runs from the corner to the base to this apex to be 17 cm. Calculate the volume of the pyramid. 2, total surface area of the pyramid.